Devadineshu kameshu Devadina swayam puma Ko vishambeta yogena Yogeshwaram anuvrataha. Every living entity is controlled by a supernatural force, and thus the sense enjoyment is also under the control of that supernatural force. No one therefore can put his faith in the Lord Krishna's transcendental sense activities, but one who has become a devotee to the Lord by rendering devotional service. So there are two shlokas we covered. One previous shloka was talking about how Krishna shows by his life detachment. Even though it is said in the chapter where Krishna returns to Dwarka that all the queens were so beautiful that even Cupid will faint. But they could not even slightly attract Krishna. Not. At heart, Krishna is Atmarama, totally detached. But at the same time, Krishna enjoys reciprocating the love of his devotees. Even the gopis, when they come to Krishna, Krishna reciprocates their love. And definitely, even though Krishna is Atmarama, Eko Bahushyam, Krishna from one became many for this purpose only, to increase his transcendental happiness. Correct? So here we see that Krishna is increasing his transcendental pleasure by associating with his devotees, but fundamentally principle remains Krishna is detached. Okay? Detached from the three modes. He is attached to his devotees, but detached to the three modes. Just like Prabhupada says, our work is disinterested obligatory duty. Karma Yoga means when we do any activity in this world, we are disinterested. Just do it because it's supposed to be done as our duty. This is how we do. But in Krishna's service, we are attached. Devotee doesn't show detachment from Krishna. He does attachment. So Krishna also, as far as the metal world is concerned, is detached, is disinterested. Totally disinterested as for the permutation, combination metal world, but he is very attached to his devotees. You can understand? Little complicated. He is attached to his devotees. There is an attachment Krishna shows to his devotees. In this way we should understand. Krishna is showing intense attachment to his devotees. We should also consider in this way. And Krishna reveals himself only out of transcendental affection. That is transcendental. Samoham sarva vedeshu sarva bhuteshu nama dveshya sina priya ye tu bhajanti mam bhaktya mahititeshu chapya. So I am equal to everybody. That's fine. Krishna just maintains everybody. But that much Krishna. But those who come forward, voluntarily come forward to serve him, Krishna reveals himself. So to the degree we come forward to serve the Lord, therefore Krishna is a mystery. And that is where the Mayavadis make a mistake. The main mistake of Mayavadi is that they try to bring what they have seen to what they have not seen. That is called Kupa Manduka Nyaya, logic of the frog in the well. What is the meaning of the logic of the frog in the well? The frog has only seen the well whole life. He wants to, and he has developed some system of logic, some reasoning, some science, everything. And when he is informed about the ocean, he just cannot understand. And he tries to compare it to his well, maybe twice my well, thrice. You tell it is million times bigger than your well. What are you telling? I can't understand. So when you hear Krishna lifted a mountain, how it is possible? Because you are a small frog in this well. You cannot understand. So that's a problem in dealing the Lord. The Anu, a spark, cannot understand the sun. There is no comparison. There is no. Krishna does activities like we hear. He is eating with his eyes. He is giving birth to living entity from his eyes. That's what Prabhupada says here. Krishna just glances the metal energy, and billions of living entities are given birth in this metal world. So he has. Can anybody look at his wife and make pregnant? You cannot do. Krishna can do that. Because when you offer bhoga to Krishna, he can just see and eat. By his eyes he can eat. How it is possible? Yeah, Kupu Mandu Kanyaya, it's not crossover. And similarly, when we hear that Krishna is present in our heart, is present everywhere in his beautiful transcendental form. But in this word, form means a person is limited to a particular place. Now how can we in every place? Because Krishna's form is transcendental. But we have only perception of material form. So if what exists in the material form, you are going to extend to spiritual form, it will not work. Okay? It will not work. So we should not try to, because spiritual word is different, material word is different. We should not try to stretch everything on the material world to the spiritual world. Certain things we can see, we want to love, spiritual also, word also we want to love. Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam. Atma is eternal. Now anyway, certain things we can see, that eternity we do not see. But we see, we have a desire to love, we want to become happy, spiritual world. We also want to live for Sachidananda nature. And there it is fully manifested. Here we are trying Sachidananda, material world, but it is temporary, it is full of ignorance, and there is so much suffering. The spiritual world is opposite of that. Therefore Prabhupada writes a book. He says there is the easy journey to other planet. Very nicely Prabhupada explains in that. The first book he wrote, and he wrote for the scientist. And he tries to explain to them that you have a concept of antimatter. Now antimatter in the concept of science means which has negative properties. So that if antimatter is there and there is another person like you meet together, you will vanish. Comes out of Shunyavada. Comes out of the philosophy that everything has come from nothing. That's what the scientists feel. But Prabhupada said, no, antimatter means which has no material properties, taken that way. And that is spiritual world. It has no material property. There is no Sattva-guna, Raja-guna, Tamo-guna operating there. No. No means no. There is no. It's not operating there at all. Time, material time, everything is put to destruction. It doesn't exist. Material kala doesn't exist. Material three modes don't exist. Material bodies don't exist. There is no old age disease. So it is not negative a matter. Just like, therefore, this is misunderstood. When it is said in the Shastra, Nirakara, it doesn't mean no akara. Negative of this material akara, spiritual akara, which is eternal. The concept is, Prabhupada says, different. You understood, and Prabhupada said you misunderstood. Because Shastra at the same time says, the same Shastra says, Shyamu Sundara, Krishna is so beautiful. So you have to bring in a theory which satisfies both. One side it says Nirakara, one side it says very beautiful. Now how do you reconcile? Reconciliation is this beautiful feature is transcendental. Nirakara means no material akara. Nirguna means no material guna. What spiritual guna? You got it? So this is difficult to understand and more difficult to practice and believe in. Therefore, it will only be revealed by devotion service, which is a mystery. The Prabhupada writes in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita is a great mystery, not easy to understand. Not easy. So the Bhagavad Gita will awaken in our heart. What it will do? It will awaken in our heart. The Bhagavad Gita is awakening in our heart when we become spiritually serious. Otherwise it will not awaken. We will remain in ignorance. Okay? The whole knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita will awaken. And Salpa punya vatan rajan vishwasana vijayate. We have to do devotional service seriously, and then the transcendental nature of the Lord will slowly be manifested. First thing that will be manifested, the transcendental nature, is the holy name. A person can perceive, yes, his vibration is not material. The first thing we will perceive in spiritual. Oh my God, this is spiritual. The rest things, and then once somebody perceives that, his life becomes dedicated to that. Today, how much effort people make. You say, I think you're discussing just like say cricket match. There is some pleasure in that, so-called pleasure. I don't know. Actually, people are making grand arrangement for suffering. How? Foolish they are. Just like say, suppose you are in a room, and I come every 10 minutes, I come and slap you, kick you, and you construct a great house, bungalow for that, and all that happens in the bungalow is that I come and kick you, slap you, and go away. So for that you are making plan. And what is your happiness? Happiness when I am not slapping you. That's the happiness. Just like when now you're studying in college, very realistic. When exam get over, great happiness. So we are not gone to college for happiness, we are gone for suffering. When there is no suffering, I call it enjoyment. And we pay for that. We go, get admitted. I'm just making a joke. 4 years, get admitted. Please give me suffering. And we think I'm going to enjoy here. Not honestly speaking, there is no positive enjoyment. All that happens for certain time, there are no exams. And that is called happiness. And I pay money for that. Give me suffering. Give me suffering. And positive happiness doesn't exist in this world. There are some people who say, unless there is suffering, there is no enjoyment. They don't know what is enjoyment. They think cessation of suffering is enjoyment. Most of the people. But that's not positive. That's only zero, no? When negative is over, that's zero. Where is positive? Positive is spiritual, which people are not aware of. They are not aware. Therefore, Jnani means he understands this world is only suffering. He detaches himself from the world. He is called Jnani. And that is 1 in 1,000. Manushyanam sahasreshu kashyap yatati siddhe. He is called a Siddha Purusha. That itself is a great man who understands in this world there is no enjoyment. I am getting cheated here. Actually, this is cheating, no? Okay? I invite you to some hotel, you will enjoy, and every half an hour I come, I put your head inside water, and you are crying, and then I leave you. Great enjoyment. Now you went to the hotel for, is this enjoyment? Actually you are being suffering here. So it takes many lifetimes to understand this fact, there is no happiness in this world. This takes, what is a Shisha? Many lifetimes. The person becomes totally frustrated, totally detached, totally pessimistic, because such a bad experience he has. You tell him again, no, not again. I'm not going to go to this metal world again. He's totally pessimistic. Okay? Is it clear? First part? What is first part clear? That there is no enjoyment in this world. Then person comes to positive life. So positive life of the Lord is explained in both the shlokas. First shloka talks about how Krishna is totally detached from 3 modes. He is not detached from Rukmini in one sense. He is transcendently attached, not materially attached. We are attached because we get some adan pradhan. We glorify other person, he glorifies us, so we are very attached. Because he gives some, because see, everything needs food. The body needs food, mind also needs food. Everything needs some food. Mind needs mana puja pratishta. Body needs some ahara. Mind also needs. It's a food. What do you feel? There is the food. And unless somebody is spiritually very advanced, he needs still that food. Diet is there. Therefore, somewhere therefore it says somebody who is spiritually very advanced, he can honor even the worst enemy and friend, he takes them equally. Why? Because there is no appetite for honor in his system. That's Prabhupada says real humility. Real humility is there is no desire for honor. Humility doesn't mean, how are you? That's not humility. Humility is, are you desiring honor? Because so-called humility may be another pride. The so-called humility of the person Maybe another pride. Correct? I am very humble. That may be pride. So real humility means no desire for any honor. Totally detached from honor in this world, and he is interested. So that is Krishna's special favor, that when there is a transcendental reciprocation starts between us and the Lord, that's a bhakta. Bhakta means it has started, and he feels therefore sheltered, because something extraordinary the Lord is giving him now. And that is why he keeps aloof from all the material world. And people may give big and times when he only internally laughs and is silent. Correct? Sometimes he may not say so. Correct? True? He becomes very serious in spiritual life. That we need to do. And the first shloka was his transcendental attachment. And what the second shloka we read was, Krishna's transcendental activities. Krishna's transcendental activities are under the domain of Yogamaya, and they are not easy to understand for an individual. Okay? So let us put our invest. Therefore it is said, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. This is the basic principle of spiritual life. Always remember Krishna is in Kali Yuga by chanting. So constantly keep chanting. That's the only way. Keep chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We travel from here to far away. College we go 1.5 hours. Softly keep chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. People hear some nonsense music. Put on some Prabhupada classes, Prabhupada bhajans. Keep hearing. Keep hearing. So powerful it is. It will have a transcendental profit. Because actually I was just yesterday reading the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. So somebody has come, talk to them. They're going over Shisha. So So I was always wondering, when somebody give Bhagavad Gita, how can he understand? Actually, book is very difficult. But one thing which is very beautiful, in fact, what happened was I used to sell books. And I thought about it. I said, book is very difficult for a newcomer. So I removed the Bhagavad Gitas from the book table. I was in charge of the book counter. I said, I'll give them to people who already read. Let the small books be there. Then I remember my one senior came and he told me something very interesting. That, have you read the introduction? Because the introduction is so nicely made that even a new person, if he reads introduction, he will immediately develop understanding. Take care of the Bhagavad Gita. He will be able to understand Bhagavad Gita. So take care. Ashisha, what happened? What? So this is anyway. So if you read the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, things are very nicely arranged in the book, very nicely arranged, and all concepts become very clear. So there Prabhupada emphasizes on the main point towards the end, which is we have discussed many times, but to keep focus again, is that every moment we are hearing something. All of us are actually hearing Grama Katha. So if we just change this to Krishna Katha, our life will change. Our life changes by association, and greatest association is by hearing. So if we can change our hearing to Krishna Katha, life changes. Krishna Katha means hearing holy name of the Lord, and whole day goes. Let's say you have 4 hours, 6 hours. Everybody has enough time. Everybody has enough time. But in that time, what he can do, he can hear about Krishna Katha. There will be tremendous change. Tremendous change will occur if this we do. There will be miraculous change. There's nothing to lose when you are hearing Krishna Katha. We are seeing TV, we are seeing serials, we are reading newspapers. Just replace now. People are very excited to read some fantasy stories, some conspiracy stories. So many things people are interested to read. Just change that. In the beginning, there is no taste, definitely. Nectar of Instruction says, in the beginning, taste is not there. But gradually, the taste will awaken. And then, life will change. Correct? Nothing, no harm will occur when you're reading Bhagavatam, you're reading Krishna. Anyway, reading the activities of some great politicians, great cricket stars, film stars. Instead of that, read about Krishna. See that that change occurs. And once the taste develops, that's a real sign of spiritual advancement. What do you say, isn't it? Real signs of spiritual advancement is what is the meditation of a person. And meditationally according to taste. And then Krishna continues in the introduction. At the time of death, whatever taste you are required, that will determine your next life. So if I have developed the taste for Krishna consciousness, I go back to Krishna's lotus feet. Correct? Anyway, I have to surrender to Krishna. So many lifetimes. I know how to surrender now. I'll surrender one life. Not this life, next life, maybe next life. Why not? I know. And what is the first surrender? My Shravanam. Let my Shravanam not be wasted. Okay? So we should save time from all directions. Because life is limited. See, today we may be healthy. There is no guarantee tomorrow I am healthy. Prabhupada says no. One of the, that sannyasi had come. He was very nicely explaining the qualities of Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami. So Shukdev Goswami, one of the greatest quality which was very visible, he was totally renounced, which is quite visible because he was walking naked. Totally renounced. So much so when he was walking naked, the women were laughing at him and some people are even throwing stones. That's what it will happen. And he was totally honor, dishonor. He was very handsome. So women were running behind him. And some people are throwing stones. Some children are laughing at him. He was disinterested with all that. That is speaker's qualification. And the hearer's qualification was, Prabhupada says, one of the things which I am very easy to understand. Hearer was convinced that he will die within 7 days. Very important that he understood Mriyamana, that I am going to die. For us, as a hearer, we are not the speaker, as a hearer, our disqualification is we are not convinced that we are going to die. This is our disqualification. What is the disqualification? We are not convinced that we are going to die. We think some exception will occur for me. Doctor will create some new medicine and some injection. Somewhere in the back of the mind this is there. Otherwise, if you are in a slaughterhouse and you are convinced one day they will call me, immediately you will become very philosophical. Yeah, what is all this slaughterhouse? Why I am trapped here? What is going on? Isn't it? That will happen or not? It's going to happen? Yeah, that's what is happening. Srila Prabhupada ki